So question 3 for my practice test A in this chemistry test is use the valence structure of water, oxygen and chlorine gas to explain the terms single bond, covalent bond, lone pair of electrons, molecule, element and atom. That's a lot of stuff for not a lot of room, but let's try and work it out. So my water, H2O, draw my Lewis dot structures and come together with a molecule. So therefore there's water there. Oxygen, again, after a while of doing this, a bit of practice, you'll remember what oxygen and water look like. And then chlorine gas will be, draw out my, that's just a line, draw out my Lewis dot structure and I can see the fact that it's going to be chlorine, bonded to chlorine, with lone pairs of electrons lying around. Now there's my structures. Now I need to identify the following things. The covalent single bond, I'm going to use a different colour here, try and make it easy. So this here, this sharing of electrons here is a covalent single bond. So covalent single bond is here. This here is a covalent double bond where you have a doubling sharing of electrons. So you have two pairs of electrons shared between two atoms. Here I can highlight that as being a lone pair of electrons, lone pair of electrons. Molecule. This entire thing here is a molecule. So here is a molecule. Each of these is a molecule actually. And this is also an element. It's a molecular element because it's made of only one type of atom. I might write that there and say one type of atom. Okay, and then atom, we're just going to circle one of these things and say this is an atom. And hopefully that makes sense in terms of identifying these things. Technically, I probably should explain them and use a sentence in each of these, but because this is just a practice test and I'm just going through it, I'm just going to try and identify and circle and highlight what they are. Because I think that's probably what I should have written in this question because I didn't give you enough room to write sentences for all these things. And that's question 3. Question 4, I'll have a look at this, and using an appropriate example, explain the difference between the properties of covalent molecular substances and covalent lattices. Again, we need to find an example. Examples mean diagrams as well. So let's take a molecular substance. The easiest molecular substance will be H2O. So that might be H2O like this. And then covalent lattices is your go-to one would be diamond. All right, where you have carbon bonded to carbon. All right, and it will just continue bonding to carbon as long as you only have 4 bonds for every carbon, and you should be right with that. So diamond is this is water. Now diamond, there's properties. What are the properties? So this is a lattice, all right, and it has a very high melting point / boiling point, all right? This is because all bonds are intramolecular covalent bonds. All right, so therefore all bonds here are the intramolecular covalent bonds. And over here with water, however, we've got delta negatives and delta positives, and you're going to have this, which is that's delta negative, delta positive, and here you have the molecular substance. And you can see the fact that they are held together by intermolecular forces. So therefore the properties of this is we have low melting points / boiling points in comparison to our lattice. This is not a very well answered question, but the key thing is use an appropriate example. Examples mean diagrams, all right? So covalent molecular, diagram of water, covalent lattice, diagram of diamond. To explain the difference in the properties, What are the properties? It's melting points, boiling points. Covalent molecular have low melting points and boiling points. Covalent lattices have high melting points and boiling points. And why is that? Using these examples, we have intramolecular covalent bonds, and here we have intermolecular covalent bonds when they're broken in terms of melting stuff and boiling stuff. And that's question 4.